Hello, America. The bloggers, the detractors, they'll say all kinds of things. They'll say that I'm crazy, that I'm a conspiracy theorist. Boy, is that one not going to work out to their advantage in just a little while. And that I'm targeting Van Jones. But let me tell you something. Van Jones is the tip of the iceberg. Too many things have been happening in this country that just don't make sense to too many Americans. Republicans, Democrats, independents. And it started way back with George Bush. I was on the air, nobody was watching, but I was on the air talking about President Bush. Here's a guy who was talking to us all about security and then leaving our borders wide open. Did that ever make sense to you? And then it just kept happening over and over and over again, all the way down to the latest. Medicare, Medicaid, totally broke. So let's double down and have even a bigger system modeled on that one? That doesn't make sense. Well, so if nothing makes sense, then you have to start looking at things and try to find answers that do. During the campaign, the president said, if you want to know what my policies are, you have to look to the people I surround myself with. So I did. Van Jones, he's our green jobs czar. He said the same thing, except he said, quote, personnel is policy. Well, what does that tell you? Well, in the case of Van Jones and several others in this administration, it says that the president has an agenda that is radical, revolutionary, and in some cases Marxist. We have laid this case out before you for several weeks, and we didn't just tell you these things, we showed you the video in their own words. But for the last 24 hours, everybody in the media has been talking about Van Jones and what he said about the Republicans. Apparently, what has captured the attention of so many people since we played this video yesterday is the fact that Van Jones called the Republicans a naughty name in February of this year. Well, Van Jones has apologized. He's sorry he said the A word about Republicans. He's not sorry, however. Let me show you. He's sorry about calling the Republicans this, but he's not sorry at all about these things. That he's a self-avowed communist. Not sorry about that. That he says that we need a whole new system. No apology. No apology for his freeing, what was this guy's name? Mumia Abu Jamal, the communist cop killer in Philadelphia. How about being a member of the radical group Storm? Communist. No. How about being a black nationalist in his past? No apology for that. How about taking wealth from one group and another and doing it the entire system over? No. No apology for that. How about his statement on this one? You ready? In fact, let me go back because I want you to hear the words. Let me go back and show you him in his own words about wealth and how that should happen.
No more broken treaties. No more broken treaties. Give them the wealth. Give them the wealth.
Okay. Give the Indians the wealth. He's not sorry for that. That doesn't sound capitalist to me. Not a word from Van Jones concerning his remarks that, listen to this one, whites are purposely poisoning minority neighborhoods.
The white polluters and the white environmentalists are essentially steering poison into the people of color communities.
Boy, America, I mean, shouldn't we get an answer for just this one? Whites are poisoning minorities. He's not sorry for that. Oh, he's sorry that he called Republicans a-holes. Yeah, he said, not this. He's not apologized yet for saying that immigrants are being sprayed with toxins intentionally by Americans.
What about our immigrant sisters and brothers? What about our immigrant sisters and brothers? What about people who come here from all around the world who we're willing to have out in the fields with poison being sprayed on them? Poison being sprayed on them because we have the wrong agricultural system.
Nor has he expressed any misgivings listed on the board. None of these. About the whole new system. Listen to this one. Ranting about changing our whole system.
This movement is deeper than a solar panel. Deeper than a solar panel. Don't stop there. Don't stop there. No, we're going to change the whole system. We're going to change the whole thing. We're not going to put a new battery in a broken system. We want a new system. We want a new system.
Could you look at the board again, please? All of these things. What does he apologize for? For using a disparaging word to describe Republicans. I got news for you. There's a lot of Republicans that have called Republicans that lately. Who cares? I could care less what he thinks about members of any political party. I don't care if he says that about the Democrats or Republicans, anybody. Me, I don't care. My concern is, what is this guy's vision for America as a special advisor to the president? I mean, especially since personnel is policy. Why doesn't he, are you ready for this? Last night I got a phone call. It was from Breitbart TV. They said, Glenn, go to your email box. You have to see what we have found. This explains everything. This verifies everything that we have talked about. Why doesn't Mr. Van Jones apologize for this?
Glenn, you're going to move your tie to the right.
One of the things that has happened, I think, too often to progressives is that we don't understand the relationship between minimum goals and maximum goals. Right after Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, if the civil rights leaders had jumped out and said, okay, now we want reparations for slavery, we want redistribution of all wealth, and we want to legalize mixed marriages. If that had been there, they had come out with a maximum program the very next day, they'd have been laughed at. Instead, they came out with a very minimum program. We just want to integrate these buses. The students a few years later came out with a very minimum program. We just want to sit at the lunch counter. But inside that minimum demand was a very radical kernel that eventually meant that from 1954 to 1968, complete revolution was on the table for this country. And I think that this green movement has to pursue those same steps and stages. Right now we're saying we want to move from suicidal gray capitalism to some kind of eco-capitalism where, at least we're not, fast-tracking the destruction of the whole planet. Will that be enough? No, it won't be enough. We want to go beyond systems of exploitation and oppression altogether, but that's a process. And I think what's great about the movement that's beginning to emerge is that the crisis is so severe in terms of joblessness, violence, and now ecological threats that people are willing to be both very pragmatic and very visionary. And so the green economy will start off as a small subset, and we're going to push it and push it and push it until it becomes the engine for transforming the whole society.
I want you to understand this. This is not about Van Jones. Quite honestly, I wish it was. He is only one of the new extraordinarily radical appointees in this administration. This is about the policies of the Barack Obama administration. They don't make sense to you, right? You can't figure out how this all works, right? So, take him at his word. We didn't set out to find some special advisor to the president and then see if we could mess with him. We set out to do what President Barack Obama told us to do, to judge him by those he surrounds himself with.
Who I associate with. On economic policy, I associate with Warren Buffett and former Fed Chairman Paul Volcker. If I'm interested in figuring out my foreign policy, I associate myself with my running mate Joe Biden or with Dick Lugar, the Republican ranking member on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, or General Jim Jones, the former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO. Those are the people, Democrats and Republicans, who have shaped my ideas and who will be surrounding me in the White House.
Really? America, help me out. And I mean this sincerely. I want another answer than the one that I have found. I have asked on this program over and over again. I welcome the White House responding and giving me another path. Stop just sending your minions out saying I'm crazy or I'm a conspiracy theorist. Really, you should stop that one. You've got 17 minutes. Stop with the name calling. I'm asking honest questions. Look at the board again, please. Look at the board. He's called himself an avowed communist. He says we need a whole new system. He wants to free a cop killer, a communist cop killer. He's a member of the Radical Storm, communist. He's a black nationalist. He wants to spread the wealth around. He says that whites are poisoning minorities and immigrants are being sprayed by toxins by Americans. Good God Almighty, is it not reasonable to ask for answers on this? But they won't give me any answers. They won't give you any answers. Nobody in Congress will give you an answer. Who the hell works for who? Whose country is this?